Imagine waking up one morning, stretching out of bed, and as you reach for your toothbrush, your dominant hand snatches it eagerly, only for your other hand to yank it away with a look of defiance as if to say, "Not today." Suddenly, the two extensions of your body, your loyal helpers, your silent partners, are no longer aligned. They're alive, each with its own voice, its own mood, its own agenda. Your right hand might be bold, ambitious, and impatient, scribbling signatures with a flourish and tapping out texts at lightning speed, while your left hand sulks with quiet creativity, doodling spirals in the margins or refusing to cooperate when asked to tie a shoelace. Daily life, once seamless, would transform into a battlefield of wills, a tug-of-war where you're stuck in the middle. Pouring a glass of water could become slapstick chaos. Your dominant hand lifts the jug with confidence while the non-dominant one tips the glass over just to watch it spill. Eating dinner might feel like dining with a mischievous stranger at your own table. And yet, in that chaos, something extraordinary would emerge. The realization that your body now hosts two distinct personalities in constant dialogue. Scientists would scramble to understand it. Neurologists might suggest that your brain's hemispheres, long known to control opposite sides of the body, have finally decided to express themselves independently. The logical, language-driven left hemisphere could make your dominant hand sharp, focused, and commanding, while the imaginative, emotional right hemisphere might imbue your non-dominant hand with whimsy, rebellion, or even empathy. What once was hidden in the circuitry of neurons would now manifest as physical personality, a visible reflection of your mind's internal debate. The very idea of handedness would take on a whole new meaning, not just a preference of strength but a rivalry of character. Society would change almost overnight. Courtrooms would need to ask, if your non-dominant hand committed a crime, are you guilty? Or is the hand its own entity? Sports would turn into bizarre spectacles, with athletes negotiating truces between their hands. Imagine a pitcher whose dominant hand hurls the ball with precision, while the other suddenly decides to wave at the crowd mid-throw. Artists, on the other hand, might discover new depths of expression. Picture a painter whose right hand sketches sharp geometric lines while the left fills them with wild, swirling colors, the canvas becoming a battlefield of competing visions that somehow merge into genius. Even musicians could transform, one hand playing disciplined scales on a piano while the other improvises jazz riffs, creating harmonies never before possible. But what about the personal side? Relationships would get complicated. Imagine holding your partner's hand, only for your non-dominant one to squeeze too tightly or let go in protest, as though jealous of your dominant side's control. Arguments might not just be between two people anymore, but between four hands, each with their own loyalties and grudges. In quiet moments, though, there might also be comfort. Your non-dominant hand could stroke your cheek after a hard day, offering kindness when your dominant hand is too busy flipping through emails or slamming doors. You might come to see yourself not as a single person but as a duet, a walking collaboration of opposing personalities forever locked in push and pull. On a global scale, entire cultures might reinterpret philosophy and identity. Are we truly individuals if even our hands disagree about who we are? Would wars and politics shift if leaders' hands couldn't even sign treaties without arguing over the pen? Or perhaps, paradoxically, this division would teach us empathy. Living with two personalities in one body could show us the value of compromise, of negotiation, of listening to voices that challenge us. And then comes the chilling thought. What if the hands decided they didn't need you anymore? What if one day as you sleep, your dominant hand and non-dominant hand clasped together in secret alliance, plotting their own future without your permission? Suddenly, you're no longer the master of your body, but the stage on which two characters play out their endless drama. The question is no longer, what if your hands had different personalities, but rather, who really owns the life you thought was yours? And maybe, just maybe, the truth is that you've never been alone. Not in your head, not in your body, and certainly not in your hands.